Hey guys, I'm Chelsea.
I'm Millie.
And we're going to be making Minecraft hearts for Valentine's Day. Okay, so you want red sculpey for the actual heart, black sculpey for the outline of the heart. The next thing that you're going to need is an X-Acto blade, which is very sharp and dangerous.
If you're like, I don't know, 12 and above, and if you know how to use those, you can use them. But you'll need some help if you're younger and you don't really know how to use this.
Millie's right. If you know how to use an X-Acto and you think you can do it safely, go for it. Otherwise, get a parent or somebody older to help you. You're also going to want a rolling pin, and that's for rolling out the clay and making sure it's really smooth and even so that it looks nice when you start layering it on top of each other. Lastly, oh yeah, you're going to need stencils. You're going to need a stencil for the red heart and a stencil for the black heart. So you're gonna wanna get your stencils out of poster board or something really thick and sturdy so they'll keep their shape while you're cutting. So what you can do is you can follow the link in the description to some stencils that I've already made for you, print them out, cut them out, trace them on the poster board, cut those out. Now you've got awesome poster board stencils. Some of the things that you can use on this project, but you don't have to have them, are, for example, like clay sculpting tools. These have like these sharp edges and they're just makes it easier to move the clay around and get fine details, clean everything up. So those are really nice. If you're planning on making jewelry, which we'll talk about like a little bit later in the video, then you'll want some jump rings, which are just like little rings that open up at the top and they let you make like jewelry and necklaces, earrings, that kind of stuff. Okay, so you use the liquid Sculpey while it's still wet before you bake it, and it just acts like Sculpey glue, basically. And it's better, I mean, you can press, just like regular clay, you could press it together and it'll stick. But sometimes when you press things, it can change the design a little bit. So that's why this can be a good additional tool. And the last thing is you can use some gloss varnish. And this brand particularly works really well with Sculpey. And it just makes it shiny and kind of gives it like a nice finished look. I think we need one more thing.
Really? I know who it is.
You know who it is?
Yeah. My mom, aka Griffon Ramsey. Yeah.
Griffon Ramsey.
Hey.
Hey.
So it's craft night, I hear?
Yeah.
It's craft night. We're going to make stuff for Millie's class.
Okay.
I thought that Minecraft would be a good way to go.
Well, yeah, because everyone likes it.
Everybody likes Minecraft, so that's why we're getting in on it. So first, we need to make our hearts using our stencils. So you got to get this nice and smooth and even.
About how thin do you want it?
I would say, as like a good rule of thumb, you want it to be about half the thickness that you want the end product to be because you're layering them on top of each other.
Okay.
So while I'm trying to get this black as smooth as possible, Millie, what you're gonna want to do is take your stencil and really like pat it down so that it doesn't move and it'll just kind of stick to there. So go ahead and pat it down. Good job. You don't have to push too hard. So one trick that you can use to make corners easier, since I know this project has a lot of corners and sharp angles, is you can cut one side and then come around. Look at that. Cutting the other side.
Yeah, that makes it perfect.
Yeah. So while Millie's cleaning up the red heart, we're going to start doing the black heart over here.
Okay.
And if you want to, if you want to keep working on the white for the detail, that's cool too. This is why it's good to have helpers.
Yeah.
So since I'm using the X-Acto knife, I can get in there and do some really fine details. And what I like to do is just sort of lay the blade down rather than cutting, rather than like slicing like this, because what I find is that sometimes it can pull the clay the direction that you're cutting and it starts to just distort that shape a little bit. So I'm just gonna lay my blade down. And since we have a nice, strong stencil, it should be able to stand up to the blade.
Looking good.
Putting the heart over here.
You've made some stuff with Sculpey too, right, Griffon?
Yeah, but we have, you know, a lot of just the plain white, a big box of it. So sometimes we'll just like bring it out for a party and just put it on the table and then people can kind of Sculpey while they hang out and talk or watch TV or whatever. You can bake all your friends' creations. It's kind of like easy entertainment for all ages.
All right, are we ready?
We're totally ready. I really want to see the
I
the
know.
culmination of all of this.
It's been a lot of work. So Millie, so gently, so carefully, so tenderly, put the heart on top of the other heart. Line it up. You're doing it. Look at you. There. I mean,
Yeah, that looks good. When you hold this right here.
All right. Now that we have the red heart firmly secured to the black heart, we can glue down the pencil. Do a little glue. Right there. Right there, in that corner.
Yeah, corner to corner like that.
Yep. Yep. There we go. I'm gonna just pat it down a little bit.
Tap.
Now.
Moment of truth?
It's the moment of truth.
All right.
It's time to get the Minecraft heart off the healing mat or whatever cutting surface that you're using and onto the baking pan for oven time. All right. All right.
You may have to reshape it on the pan.
That's okay.
Can you hand the pan to her?
Yes. That's heavier than I expected.
So we're going to set it down.
Lovely.
Make sure it looks reasonable.
And what is this one used for?
This one, so we didn't put a hole in this one because I'm thinking that this is going to be for a Valentine. If you were going to make this as jewelry, you might want to take, what I usually do is I take a ballpoint pen and I take the pen part out and it has that little hole at the top and you just like stick it right down on top of the clay and it pulls a hole out that's the perfect size for jump rings and jewelry and everything.
You might just take a look at the jump rings you have to make sure that you make your hole big enough. But with polymer, I'm sure with the clay, it's going to be hard not to make it larger.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think the only way that you can make a hole too small is if you used a sewing needle, which I did try and it did not work. So now it's time to bake. All right.
If you're a kid, you should not be using the oven like me. I'm making her do it because I'm 9 years old. I can't use the oven. She can. She's 20.
It doesn't matter. Let's put it in the oven.
Stop. She's 20 something. I think she's 20. Yeah.
Careful. It's quite hot.
Nice.
So nobody touches it. So now we have a finished Minecraft heart. When it cools down later, if you want to, you can gloss it with some varnish. That'll make it protected, and also you can gloss this hat if you are like Millie and you made a hat at the end, which is fine. And then that also kind of protects it a little bit as like a little bit of a coating, which is nice. And yeah, and that's like the nice thing about this project is that there's just really so many different things that you can do. You can put them on a card, you can turn them into jewelry. I was also thinking like, you know, you could do a Minecraft treasure hunt or a Minecraft scavenger hunt and put them around as clues if you were
like
leading.
Find them.
Yeah, and be like, find the next heart.
To find the 1 diamond, so like you're getting closer, so like a heart for help.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Like
and then extra lives.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta find your lives.
And one thing, it has like little notes, so like you're running low on health. Eat this pork chop to.
So you can leave hidden pork chops. I love this idea.
Okay. Or another thing that you can do that's fun is before you bake it, you can slice it right down the middle, and then that creates like BFF necklaces, kind of like this one right here.
What?
What? It was here all along? Oh my gosh. Okay. Yep. But you know what?
What?
You have to have a BFF to give the other side to. Kind of like for you. It's like we're dating you.
That's beautiful, Chelsea. That's so thoughtful of you.
Yeah, that's so.
So where's mine?